Assalamu alaikum and welcome back everyone to chapter 00 of the Arduino series. In this video, the main focus of it will be whether the Arduino in itself is the best microcontroller for you to start off with. There will be other comparisons, there will be reasons as to why you should start with the Arduino, the simplicity of it, just due to the fact that it's built for students and built for newcomers into the world of microcontrollers. In the year 2005, the Arduino was created by the collective efforts of four men who go by the name of Massimo Banzi, David Courtiel, Tom Igoy, and David Mielis, who came together and created a device that was suitable not only financially but in terms of level of difficulty, which set the entry-level barrier so low that pretty much anyone with no prior knowledge or skill can acquire the ability for them to be able to program a microcontroller, allowing them to produce any type of project they wish. If you sit down and give a valuation of the pros over the cons of using an Arduino, you find that the pros completely outvalue the disadvantages. The disadvantages will only be visible once you get to a stage where a high level of skill is required, such as using different languages at the same time. This is probably when you should switch to a different microcontroller or a microprocessor. So we'll begin with the advantages. The Arduino language in itself is based upon a simplified version of C and C++, which is easily adaptable. For those who've delved into this language, you'll see how evident the similarities are between them. The components are quite cheap, and the hardware in itself is very affordable, so it's not an issue when it comes down to buying or purchasing new components. But when you do decide to buy a new component or a new Arduino or a new microcontroller, you find that it will solve some of the issues you will encounter for the disadvantages once you reach that stage. However, it makes it a very easy hobby to maintain. One of the great things that makes Arduino in itself is the active user-based community. It's very helpful, so if you do have any questions, you can go to any forums, state your question, and you will get an answer quite quickly and quite effectively explained. This excludes the amount of YouTube content there is roaming around. A community revolving around what I'm doing is something that I'm trying to achieve, so you will find a Discord link in the description. Another small advantage that you may not benefit of, but it is still something, is that the compatibility between other operating systems. It's not only compatible with Windows, but also Linux, other Linux distributions, and Mac OS. A point that significantly broadens the functionality of the Arduino is the plethora of libraries that is there for you to utilize and control external sensors, modules, and motors. We will cover about libraries in chapter 2. We'll go around how to utilize them, how to download them, and how to make the IDE of Arduino identify them. When it comes to disadvantages, there aren't too many, especially if you do start off, you will never experience any of these problems. To begin with, the Arduino lacks the ability to multitask. This really is not an issue. Multitasking, when it comes to controllers, multitasking is basically opening two programs at the same time. So, for instance, you have, let's say, one program lighting up an LED and the other program running a motor. You could obviously program this into the Arduino, but for it to run separate programs, it is not something that it's capable of doing. And as soon as you start delving yourself into different microcontrollers, you'll understand how limiting the Arduino in itself is. You'll understand that the Arduino Uno specifically lacks other communication methods such as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. I do have an example for this. It is my YouTube sub counter. It uses an ESP32, which does make use of Wi-Fi communication, which is what clearly the Arduino Uno lacks. Another issue that you will most likely never come across is the limited memory storage. The Arduino in itself is capable of writing thousands of lines until you actually start experiencing memory issues, and this won't be an issue until you start delving into big projects. For the final disadvantage, which I would also say would be the one that you will end up experiencing soon enough, is the limited support for famous programming languages such as Python, Java, and JavaScript. There are methods around this, however, there's no direct support. The Arduino IDE is a very strong and versatile open source software where anyone with the right contribution can manage to add some features. This improves and supports the preferences of the community to a greater length. I've already mentioned the additional flaws that the use of libraries can influence how great the functionality becomes. Alongside this, it allows the use of other microcontrollers to be programmed without needing another IDE. In addition to this, the program can run basic components without needing to be connected to the internet to install any further packages. The program is constantly being updated with the newest version 2.0 currently in beta as of now. It will greatly increase the quality of life when the software is finalized. When you look at the Arduino Uno and compare it to the other range of Arduino microcontrollers in the market, you really understand how limiting the Arduino Uno is. It has no other type of connection such as Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. So it just goes to show how a beginner and entry level this microcontroller is. You do have other options such as the Arduino BT, Bluetooth, and the Arduino Uno Wi-Fi, which utilizes the two other options of communications. However, if you do find something that is lacking within the Arduino Uno, you will be able to find it within the market, and not only the market but within the range of other Arduino products. As of now, it looks like I'm looking down onto the Arduino Uno, but to be fair, the Arduino Uno is a very beginner-friendly microcontroller. It gives you a foundation of how microcontrollers should be programmed, how microcontrollers work, and the same foundation, the same understanding can be brought into other microcontrollers. So the foundation gain is really important, and I think just because of that, I do really believe that it should be your first microcontroller. In this series, I'll guide you into having a vivid understanding of the Arduino. I will cover all the uses of the Arduino within the future, and my videos will act as a library for utilizing Arduinos, and that can solve whatever problems or questions that will arise. To come closer within the community, join my Discord.